It is one of the most expensive drugs ever considered for public funding in this province. And for many, it's a miracle. It's called Spinraza, and one family believes it could help their 3-year-old daughter walk for the very first time. I've told you about this drug before and the hope that it brings, but that hope is fading for this little girl and for many other children with the same genetic disorder after a drug committee recommends most of them shouldn't get it.
Can I ask your mom some questions now, sweetheart? And then you can know.
It's going to be about you, okay?
We are about to start our interview. Often a challenge when a 3-year-old is involved.
No, I don't want to smile.
Okay, then just listen, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
And then it happens, unprompted.
Can I walk someday, but does I like to walk someday?
She'd like to walk someday.
Chloe's walking to bed.
Chloe does walk in her imagination. At night, she pretends she is walking to bed every evening as her father holds her.
I don't show emotion very much, but it's usually when I'm alone that it eats me up inside.
Because this is Chloe's reality. She can't sit up on her own and must use a wheelchair. Chloe has type 2 SMA, spinal muscular atrophy. It's a rare genetic disorder that destroys the muscles. For years, families had no hope, until now. A drug called Spinraza that is shown to halt, even reverse, the devastating effects. But its cost is staggering. In the U.S., it is $750,000 for the first year and $375,000 after that, every year, for life.
Please help us and help every other kid in our situation, because we don't have the money.
Spinraza is in the process of getting approval for government coverage. The first step is a review by the Canadian Drug Expert Committee, which has just released recommendations on which SMA patients should be covered. Its conclusions are devastating to Chloe's parents. Among them, only children diagnosed before turning 7 months should receive provincial coverage for the drug. It means most SMA patients alive today will not be eligible because they're too old.
A lot of kids aren't diagnosed before they're 7 months, so they're narrowing it down to only a very few.
The Canadian Drug Committee concludes there is insufficient evidence Spinraza is effective or safe in other patients. That's hard for Chloe's parents to believe, considering the miracles they see in other children, like 3-year-old Sophia.
Daddy, everything's not hurting, everything's not sore.
She was able to ride a bike 1 week after her first injection of Spinraza and is steadily improving.
So can I ask you a question?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Chloe's parents are still fighting for her, but worry they are reaching a dead end.
Kids are going to die in the process. They're going to lose abilities in the process, and it's just, it's not fair. It breaks my heart.
Biogen, the manufacturer of Spinraza, says the drug is available without those tight restrictions in 15 other countries, including the U.S., where it is recommended for all, but that's based on planned coverage, of course. Spinraza will now be reviewed by the Canadian Pharmaceutical Alliance, which will determine if provinces should enter negotiations with Biogen to bring the price down. One government spokesperson tells me there has to be a substantial price reduction.